Trump, who will roll out the measures flanked by cabinet members in the Rose Garden of the White House at 4 p.m. local time. Trump has announced it is Liberation Day in America. However, still not much is known about these Liberation Day tariffs. The U.S. president has merely said that he would be very kind, but has given little away.
We are going to be very nice by comparison to what they were. The numbers will be lower than what they've been charging us, and in some cases maybe substantially lower, but we sort of have a world obligation perhaps. But we're going to be very nice. Relatively speaking, we're going to be very kind.
While Trump has insisted he has decided on the reciprocal tariffs hitting countries that have targeted the United States, the White House admitted he was still ironing out the details. Trump has trailed the measures for weeks, initially suggesting that the tariffs would simply match whatever levies other countries impose. As the deadline drew near, U.S. media reported that he had also been considering blanket 20% tariffs, and then there was a third open under consideration where some countries would get preferential treatment. White House has kept silent, with Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt saying she did not want to get ahead of the president. Major economies, including the European Union, have vowed retaliation. The European Union, which Trump has accused of trying to screw the U.S., said it still hoped to negotiate a solution, but that all instruments are on the table to retaliate if necessary. The EU will respond to the new tariffs before the end of April. This according to the French government spokesperson, who said there will be two responses. The first, which will take place in mid-April, in response to the tariffs already decided on steel and aluminium. She added that there will be detailed study sector by sector, and a European decision will be announced before the end of April in a coordinated, united and strong way. However, the European Commission, which is in charge of EU trade policies, did not confirm the French government's comment, saying France doesn't speak on behalf of the European Union when it comes to trade policies. Meanwhile, other top exporters are seeking to build up alliances to counter Washington, with China, Japan and South Korea speeding up talks on a free trade agreement. Trump has already raised duties on Chinese imports as well as steel, aluminium and some goods from Canada and Mexico. In case of additional tariffs, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says his government will be very deliberate in terms of the measures they take to fight for Canada. Mexico, on the other hand, has already lowered its 2025 growth forecast from between 2 to 3% to a range of 1.5 to 2.3%, citing tensions with its largest trading partner. But what do the Americans think about the tariffs? How do they feel? How would it impact them? Now, 7% said tariffs will make products less expensive, while 17% said there will be no difference in pricing. Jennifer Ewing is the spokesperson for Republicans Overseas UK. Ms. Ewing, thank you very much for staying with us. Trump said yesterday that today, apart from it being Liberation Day, it is also the rebirth of America. What are your thoughts on that statement? And should markets and indeed countries on the list be worried so much?
So I do not think markets and countries should be worried so much, no, because as we know with President Trump, he uses these tariffs often to negotiate. And we've seen with Israel, who came out yesterday and said they would remove all tariffs. I believe the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom is now saying, we will look at reducing tariffs on your U.S. tech companies if you reduce tariffs on our exports. And I believe even in your country, India, Modi has been looking at considering reducing tariffs to the tune of 23 million. So I think this is all up for discussion until we see where it lands. I think it'll be negotiation. With regards to what I think what President Trump is trying to do is stick with his America First policy. What he really wants is manufacturing to come back onshore in America. He wants companies to build their businesses in America. And we've seen whether it's Apple or SoftBank, people already investing more in America. That's what he's trying to encourage. Now, if all of these tariffs go through, let's say the 20% on cars or whatever was discussed, let's say that does go through. Of course, that will hurt American consumers because the consumers are going to end up paying in the end because it gets passed through to them. So I don't think it will be as dramatic when everything lands as the lead up has been. But it's uncomfortable for a lot of people to watch. But at the end of the day, I think everything is a negotiation with Trump, and he's encouraging people. He's saying he's taking incoming calls. So even I believe Doug Ford in Canada is now saying that he's up for a negotiation. That I don't think he was saying that 2 weeks ago. So a lot to still be determined.
A lot still to be determined. We'll have to leave it there. Jennifer, thank you very much for your time and for talking to us today.
Thank you. Thanks.